And welcome back to Chrono Trigger. In the last video, Marle kind of vanished.
She did.
Yeah, Marle's kind of gone. And this is just me backtracking to make sure I didn't forget anything.
Actually, to be more specific, she never existed. Sort of.
Well, technically right now she doesn't exist.
Because it's funny. It's like she technically doesn't exist right now, so it's just like Marle who. I know it's
people in this time didn't.
It's probably running off that
Anyway.
whole like as you were saying in the last part, the split
Time paradox.
Yeah, the split timeline thing where we're in a world where she technically never existed, but we're from the world where she did exist. So it's just like, okay, we got to fix that.
Well, here's a faster example. If anyone of you watching has ever seen Back to the Future Part 2, it's kind of what happens, except without the split timeline thing.
Yeah.
So there was a point in time where the princess got captured, and somebody was supposed to rescue her. But when they found Marle, who looks exactly like the princess, they stopped looking for the real one. Now they're in trouble because the real one's gonna die.
And if she dies, then Marle is most definitely erased from existence.
And apparently the Chancellor's up to something. But if you go into this room, you get a bronze mail, which you're going to need when you're going through the next dungeon.
Man, what Chancellor isn't up to no good?
Hey, I'll give it props. He's not a religious guy.
Yeah.
Japan really likes having, like, popes and stuff be evil.
Oh, we'll be seeing something evil soon enough. And involving a church.
Well, I meant like a main villain.
Yeah, but still, you are right. It's just like it's not the Chancellor being like a religious nut job. That's just like, it's like you're not following my religion or you don't believe in my religion. You must be erased.
And I completely forgot to get that chest that has 100 gold in it. Get it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and do as close to a 100% run as I can with this. And by that, I mean I'm going to be finding all of the weapons. That doesn't mean I'm going to be finding all of the special tabs, like the power tabs, or the magic tabs, and the speed tabs.
I just imagine the king right now as you were running out, just like, "Hey, how's my wife?" You're like, "Nope, nope, 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 nope."
Well, well, the thing is, he already assumes that the soldiers are looking for her.
No, he assumes she's still in her room because, well, that technically.
Oh, that's right. Because she thought. That's right. That's why you don't talk to him.
There's like, so how's the wife?
No, well, I mean, if you talk to him, he does mention the fact that maybe you can tell me something about. Maybe you can help me figure out what's wrong with my wife. She seems really strange right now, and she keeps asking about certain things. Like if you go talk to the chef, we mentioned this before. Like. The guy's like, maybe you can help me. The queen keeps asking about ice cream. What the hell is ice cream?
I'm assuming you're cutting out... actually, we haven't fought these ones, huh?
Yeah, we haven't fought these guys yet.
But you cut it out.
But, I forgot that we didn't fight those guys. But anyway, basically those guys can be annoying. The most annoying thing about those birds is that they can cause confuse on you.
Oh, shit.
If you're unlucky enough for it to happen. But... most of the time, you're fast enough to get them before they die, or before they can even get a turn.
Right.
Especially now that you have Cyclone, you can pretty much one-shot everything, so as long as there's enemies grouped together, Chrono can one-shot everything.
Alright, what are we buying?
Let's see, you can buy an Iron Blade for Chrono, which I suggest you do, because...
look at all that damage.
like, you probably don't have that much... money right now, so basically just get the weapons. You can get the iron helms. You can buy weapons and armor for Marle, but I wouldn't recommend buying them yet.
Right.
Because by the time we get Marle back, we'll be able to buy better equipment anyway. 19 to 24. And that's other things too, like, I think Luca's weapon damage is based on her aim stat and not her attack stat.
Yeah, I think that's what they mentioned with like the projectile-based weapons. That like the more accurate you are, the stronger your attacks are.
Yeah, so really the attack stat for Luca and Marle don't mean anything. You want more aim.
I mean, like, the attack stat is important, but it's not as important as the aim is. Like,
Yeah.
it'll boost it up a little bit, but not by much.
Yeah, basically because their accuracy is slightly lower than using a physical weapon.
Yeah. And technically, they do kind of use the weapon if they're, like, up close on the enemy.
Yeah, I think that's the only time when the attack stat actually matters.
Yeah.
So, like, if Marle is right next to the guy, she'll whack him over the head with her crossbow instead of using the crossbow.
Yeah. Or if Luca's right there, I think she'll use kind of like a little hammer, or her use a gun as a hammer.
Yeah. No, I think she just has a hammer because she's just got tools.
It's like hit him on the head with a hammer.
I'm gonna put him in. I'll turn him into a flea. Put that flea in a box, and I'll put that box in another box, and I'll mail that box to my house, and when it arrives, I'll smash it with the hammer. Or to save money on postage stamps, I'll just poison him with this. I miss that movie.
God damn.
So good.
It's like, I don't even know what to say about that. Like, the move...
Anyways, now we have to go over to the Cathedral, which is over to the left there.
Yep.
And then this one I'm saving, and it's like, that scared me for a second, because I'm like, why is there a black screen? Like, oh right, load times. See, those are the little differences there. Like,
hey, there's that file.
Like, hey, final battle. Bye-bye, my old file. As you can see, I named all my characters after Dragon Ball. They're gone now.
No more of that.
Now my old Let's Play is officially gone.
It's dead.
Well, it's still on YouTube if you want to watch it. It's like, hey, well, now we'll give you your level 50 characters, and it's gone.
Yep.
Anyways.
So, who's up to go to church?
Now, since I've played this game a million and a half times, I know where to go. You're supposed to go into the town and talk to people, and they'll mention something about how like something weird's going on in the cathedral across from the castle.
He's like, it's suspiciously more evil than it usually is.
Well, it's not that the cathedral's evil. It's more just like something strange is going on at the cathedral, and no one's been in there since.
Yeah.
Talk to all three of the nuns, and then you'll find this weird sparkle on the ground, so you can progress plot.
Yep.
Apparently, there's a hairpin.
It's like, you know too much.
So there's a hairpin. Oh, god damn it.
You know too much. I can imagine with the load times, everyone's just standing around, like, are we gonna do anything anytime soon?
Yeah. Now we've got
there he
Naga Ets. Now we've got Naga Ets. They're actually weak to fire, so you can actually. Luca can pretty much one-shot Luca can pretty much one-shot these guys.
Yeah, it's but I think you have to get her first tech. But if you've been fighting all the enemies up to this point, well, actually, no, you got to do it.
As long as you fight every enemy you run into in Guardia Forest, she'll have fire.
Yeah.
If not, you've got Cyclone, so 2 Cyclones will take care of it.
Oh, right, she's inflicted with slow.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, Cyclone doesn't do as much damage as a normal attack, so this battle's taking longer than it should.
But at least you're hitting them all at once.
Yeah. This is not the smart way to do this, but I blame it on the fact that Lucas slowed, and I probably should have used Flame Toss there, and it would have made things go a lot easier.
I don't even think it...
Or Chrono can just get a critical like he usually does.
By the way, I don't even think Luca has her Flame Toss just yet, but I think she'll get it right now. Ah, there it is.
Yeah, there it is.
Hey, dual techs.
And dual tech Fire Whirl.
One of the better things of Chrono... Well, like, one of the best things about Chrono Trigger is that, like, you could combine those techs between your party members to get dual techs or triple techs.
Incoming second best character in the game.
With the funniest accent in translation.
Yeah, unfortunately, if you're playing the DS version, they got rid of his English accent.
I mean, it's still like, it's still
He still has, like, proper etiquette, but he doesn't speak in old-timey, like,
Shakespearean
King Arthur English. He doesn't speak in King Arthur English.
My guys doth not incur thy trust. It's like in
Which doesn't make any sense because this frog is the only character in the game that has this accent.
yeah. Like
Which
in this
makes me think
timeline,
that this-
he's the only one that talks like this.
Which is most likely due to the fact that the localization team just decided to do it for laughs.
What should we do? Go with the frog.
I'll just have to handle it, or I mean, deal with him. Chrono's a frog. I hate frogs.
What's his name? It's fucking Frog.
Yes. If the screen wants to load.
I know. I was
There we
kind of
go.
hoping it was going to show up as I said his name.
Frog.
It was like,
Again, I would be playing the Super Nintendo version, but I don't feel like spending $20 on something that I already have on the PS1.
I like how he's flexing. He's just like, yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, Frog has muscle. He is like one of the highest hit. Like he and Chrono have the highest physical attacks. Have some of the highest physical attacks in the game.
Yeah, and when you get him some of his better weapons later on, my god, he could fuck shit up.
Frog, I'd say he's a slightly stronger Chrono. He has pretty much the same base stats as Chrono, just a little bit slower.
I would say I think he's Chrono's physical attack, but like he has his like magic attacks or anything like that. They're not that good.
He's the second best mage in the game. Third if you're going for a specific character that you don't necessarily have to get.
If anything, I would say Frog's magic abilities are like middle of the road for like the entire party.
He's this game's red mage because he has healing spells and attacking spells.
Yeah.
And his healing spells are some of the best in the game.
It's surprising how many characters in this game have at least one form of healing.
I think the only character in this game that doesn't have a heal is Luca, actually. Or
Chrono and
Luca
Luca.
and...
I think it's both Chrono and Luca that don't have a healing spell. Like their own healing spell, not one that's
Right,
involving
but-
a dual tech.
True. But that's, like... Chrono has the best healing spell in the game. Granted, you have to use a dual tech to use it, but...
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's the best healing spell. No, it may not be the best healing spell in the game, but you're going to use it a lot. Anyway, we got these Diablos. These guys are annoying because they have a lot of HP, and they actually do decent damage.
Yeah, they have almost as much health as those Naga Itch that we just fought.
Yeah. The upside, though, Frog tends to get critical hits a lot, so he's most likely going to one-shot half of these guys.
Nowhere near as much as Chrono, but yeah, when he gets it, it really messes
No,
things up.
right now, I think his critical attack... I think Frog's critical rate is actually a little bit higher than Chrono's right now. Just a little bit. I don't really know. I don't know how critical attacks... I don't know how critical hits work in this game. It might have something to do with speed,
Yeah.
which would explain why Chrono gets criticals a lot.
I mean, like...
But
I think-
Frog tends to get criticals too, so...
Yeah, Frog's ATB gauge fills up almost as quick as Chrono's. Just a little slower, but still, that's indicative of how fast he is.
Yeah. And then, this is what I tend to do sometimes, is Luca sometimes doesn't do that much damage. I say that, and she did 42 damage to that guy right there.
Yeah, but I think that was just her critical hit right now.
Yeah, I think that is a positive about Luca. I think she has a higher percentage of... I think Luca and Chrono get critical hits the most, just on average, without, like, certain buffs.
Or weapons.
I think for Luca it has to do with her aim stat.
Yeah.
So that's why Luca Luca is kind of a glass cannon, no pun intended. Like, she'll either do a huge amount of damage or she'll completely miss.
Or,
Which is pretty much the reason why I don't tend to like using her.
I would say, like, her, because the way that it is right now, her physical attack is either like really high if you manage to get like a critical hit, or like it's pretty abysmal if she just lands a regular hit. But that's mostly because she's like the magic attacker of the strongest magic attacker that you have in the party.
True.
Once she starts getting
also,
all the...
I forgot to mention,
go for
Frog does...
Go for it.
I forgot to mention, Frog does have healing, which is the main reason why Frog's in your party right now.
Oh yeah, and it's pretty good, all things considered.
That's another thing that I like about this game, is that magic is really cheap in this game. Like, you can heal half your HP with one spell, and it costs 1 MP.
But
1.
Yeah, but that is considering like you only have like what 17, but still that is like really good.
I mean, I think the most a spell costs in this game at any given point is like 12.
12, or I think like the end game spells are like 20.
12, it's like 12 to 15 usually, but that's because your max MP in this game is 99.
Yeah, so they kind of have to work with that.
So we got a bunch of chests in here, just some nice items. Ugh, PS1, please load faster.
What I do like about this game is that it's not so much a numbers game. Kind of like how you say the maximum MP is 99, but like your max HP is 999. So it's not so overwhelming if like an enemy or if you hit with like thousands of damage, because it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I've gotten really strong. Whereas like with games like Star Ocean or anything like that, they have like party members whose HP are in the 10,000s. And
well, I will say this, I mentioned this earlier, this is one of those, I'd classify this as a baby's first RPG kind of thing, very similar to Mario RPG, where the game's difficulty is very stable.
Yeah.
It's only going to get hard when it's supposed to be hard, and by the time it gets to that point, you should be good enough to be able to deal with it.
Yeah.
And I think that has to do with why spells only cost as much as they do.
I'd like to think it's like, who's the idiot who set up the switch right next to all those spikes and left it unguarded?
It's like, well, that's video game logic. It's like, we have to find a way to turn off the switch. Because what if we want to walk over this spike pit? It's like, yeah, but what if the enemy wants to hit it? It's like, what are the chances of that happening?
Which is why I'm saying, like, why did they leave it unguarded?
Technically, they didn't. I just killed them before we got here. And then this is me trying to remember, because there are some optional treasures you can get here. If you just go straight up the hallway, you're pretty much good.
Yeah. You could just bypass all the enemies just to get to the second portion of the dungeon.
I forgot to get the bromide.
I just imagine like, hey everybody! Humans!
They're after the bromide! Give me back my porn!
Oh my god.
Well, that's what a bromide is. It's just a poster of a naked lady. I only know that... Thank you, H.C. Bailey. I only know that because of your LP of Lunar. And now we got henchmen. These guys are kind of dangerous.
Yeah. I would...
Especially for Luca.
I would assume so. They look like they could take a really good hit.
The problem is, it's not the fact that they can take a hit, it's the fact that they can hit you really hard.
Yeah.
Right now, Luca's kind of fragile, so you want to keep her alive. Ow. Because see, Frog's fine. Frog and Chrono are going to be just fine.
They got plenty of health, and their defenses aren't that bad.
That's also the fact that Frog and Chrono have pretty much...
Aw, just one health left.
It's like, Luca, why didn't you shoot him?
It's like, why couldn't you hit him a little harder? Just a little bit.
But see, that's what happens when enemies... That's one of the downsides to the fact that... Since enemies just move on their own at random during fights, you can sometimes have an attack that you think it's going to be, but then as soon as you put in the command, the enemy walks in front of you, so it makes you change what the attack originally was.
Yeah.
Because right there, if Luca had just shot him, he probably would have died, but since he moved just close enough, she just whacked him over the head.
God damn it.
This is also a really nice place to grind if you really feel like doing that, but it gets kind of repetitive when you fight the same enemies over and over again.
I like how they just go straight for Chrono. It's like, jump him!
They're surrounding me. At this point, Chrono's strong enough to one-shot these bastards.
Frog's kind of getting there. With a little help from Luca.
Luca, you've been getting more crits lately. I don't know what I gave you, but keep doing what you're doing, girl. But yeah, this is the first official dungeon, so if you want to, you can always leave and go back to Guardia and heal up, but really you should be fine, even if you fight every single one of these guys. That's another thing I like about this game. Every time you go into a battle, you have a different formation.
Yeah. In this case, I think this benefits Luca, considering she has, like, a lot of distance between her and them.
Yeah, like Flame Toss would hit both of the snakes, this would hit both of the Nashers, and since they're weak to fire, I probably would have one-shotted them.
Yeah, but Frog managed to kill one of them, so it would have been a waste of MP.
Make sure you keep that shelter, though, because... oh, and a revive. Nice.
I always like their posing whenever they, like, win a battle. They're like, yeah!
I know, especially Frog. Like, why can't you stay that buff?
It's like, well, I don't even think frogs technically have muscles, do they?
Yeah, they have to. Otherwise, why would they be able to jump so high?
Yeah, maybe.
So apparently these monsters think we're disguised as humans, like those nuns were earlier. Yakra's so smart that I'm gonna tell you the plan.
I hate pretending to be human. It's so repulsive.
Fuck you. I'm gonna go stare at Magus' statue because I'm bored. I'm gonna make sure nobody's following me. Better not be following me. Oh, hey, king! Hey, there's the king and the queen and a soldier. What? First off, I'm gonna rob you.
I'll be right back.
Okie dokie. Okay, so we gotta wait for Yakra. Fuck. And as soon as we leave, well, they're monsters. Shit. So we gotta deal with more Nashers. Shouldn't be a problem, though. As long as you're not dying. But since Frog can heal, you should be good. You can use Luca's fire to take him out in pretty much one shot. Or you can get a critical, that works too. Thanks, Luca.
Alright, I'm back.
That's fine, you're not missing much, I'm just fighting Nashers.
More Nashers. And critical.
Yeah, like I said, Frog is MVP for this entire dungeon.
You the real MVP.
Frog's amazing.
I mean, yeah, I would say he's more well-rounded than Chrono, or rather, he's more, well, like you said, the Ren Mage. It's like, he does decent physical attack, he has healing, he has, like, decent magic attack.
Yeah, but I think his magic defense is not so good.
Yeah, it's like, the fuck is magic defense?
I don't know, it's been a while since I played this game, and I don't usually care about stats. Really, every character in this game is good. Certain characters may seem better than others, but for the most part, every character is pretty much useful.
Yeah. If you think another character is better, I think it's mostly just because you want more damage output from some characters more than others.
But to be fair, there's like 4 tank characters in this game. I mean, there's Chrono, and then there's like 3 other characters that are heavy damage dealers, and it's like, goddamn. Also, I didn't mention this, but you can, as you see in the menu, you see that there's like those symbols that say lightning, fire, water. We'll get into that later.
Oh yeah.
A lot later, but
Well, maybe not a lot later, but a little later than you would think it is. Just like, I would say, estimate about 5 parts from now.
Maybe, depending on how fast I get through it. This game can be really fast or really slow depending on what you decide to do. If you're grinding, it's probably going to make the game take a lot. Well, it's going to make the game take longer, but you don't need to grind in this game, really.
Yeah.
I apologize if we sound repetitive. Just the first dungeon in the game, there's not much to say. Once we're done with this dungeon, things will start getting really, really good. I mean, at least it's not nearly as boring as the forest, because literally nothing happens in that forest.
Yeah, that's just you going straight to the castle.
Yeah. It's weird, too. This game technically has random battles, but they're really not.
Like, well...
It's weird. It's kind of...
Well, not random. It's just, like, predetermined areas where if you step into them, then you get into a battle.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like I said, it kind of It's kind of like how Earthbound does it.
Yeah.
Except with Earthbound, you have a chance of avoiding some guys, and in certain cases with this game, there are battles that you can't avoid.
Yeah.
Such as this fight right here. There was no way of getting around this fight. There you go, Luca. Now you're pulling your weight. Chrono, he's already dead.
It's like that one kid is like, stop, he's already dead.
He's like, he's got 1 HP left. Oh, 105? Come on, Chrono.
Like, was that really necessary?
Yes. Yes, it was. I love how Chrono's outfit is, like, the most futuristic of everybody's. or not futuristic. His is, like, the most ancient looking. He just has a karate gi.
Pretty much.
Thank you for standing all next to each other like that. That makes things a lot easier for me.
That's some good stuff right there.
Yeah, that's how Flame Toss works.
And all you gotta worry about is that Nasher.
Yeah, he's dead in about 2 seconds.
Yeah.
There we go. Anyway, we're pretty much halfway done with this dungeon. If you can even call it a dungeon. But we gotta go save Marle, and she's up here somewhere. We'll find her.
Well, not Marle.
Hopefully
Princess Nadia, technically. Or no.
And Marle. Marle disappeared too.
Or Queen Lean. That's what her name was.
Yeah, Queen Lean. Anyway, and if you have a shelter, this is a good spot to use it. Shelters are basically like tents in Final Fantasy. It'll fully restore your HP and MP. Only at save points, though.
Good stuff, though. Once you start buying them, or if you like stockpile on them, you almost never have to worry about being unprepared for like a future boss fight.
Yeah, if you really want to grind for them, just keep going in and out of the forest and checking that bush. It takes a while, but you can do it. Anyway, in the next video, we're gonna go save Marle and Queen Lean.
Hell yeah.
Now that we've got Frog, things are gonna be a lot easier. The Queen is gone. The Queen's been gone for like 20 minutes, game. Come on.
They should have updated that title. It's like, the Queen is still gone.
The Queen is still missing.
It's like, the Queen is gone. The Queen is still missing. Why is and then another save file, or another save point later on when you save at it says, why is the Queen still missing?
God damn it.
Pretty much just rubbing in the fact, it's like, why did it take you so long to get to this point?
Is she back yet? No. Is she back yet? No.
And then when you finally save after saving her, it's like, finally.